I love
Hello.
you too, citizen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What's everyone on our plate for this week? Are we getting The Last of Us 2 remaster? This new leak has an answer. EA announces the rumored Black Panther 2 game. We're excited. I'm excited. You should be
I'm
excited
not
too.
excited.
Oh, okay, Sean's not excited. Microsoft is on the heels of the biggest win in the games industry. Sony is throwing their money around into live service games. Games, gaming, same thing. The Boys has entered Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and it's changed everything. All this and more on Season 7, Episode 27 of Press X to start Gamers Digest. Do a little thing. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, a.k.a. Sexy Badge Races, a.k.a. Don the Builder. I am joined by...
Sean MF Ross,
What does EMF stand for?
DMZ connoisseur.
Nice. Oh, in our what we've been playing, I'll get into the Dawn the Builder. It's a heartbreaking story. All right.
Yeah.
Now you know who we are. Press X Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, look. Normally, right? Like summer has been kind of tricky for us, and we're trying to get closer and closer to that 3 p.m. We did it for a while, but now we're kind of off. But anyways,
Life
this
be
is
life.
not 3 p.m. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, don't forget you can support us by liking the video, this video that you're watching, subscribing to the channel, this channel that you're watching, and hit that notification bell, that little bell thing somewhere on your screen. If you do that, you will be cued in on the next video that we do, and the next video, and the next video, and all the other content that we have on this channel.
And the next one.
Exactly. If you are listening and not watching, one, why? Two, can you do us a favor? Can you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or the podcast services you are
Maybe not all of
using?
our listeners have eyeballs, DJ.
Oh,
You ableist.
you're right. Dang, my bad. Hey, I didn't mean it, guys. I'm sorry. I was just reading the script. I don't know who wrote it, but I apologize. But yes, leave us a review. Hopefully you can type, right? You know what? I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. All right. If you want to join our conversations, you can by joining our Discord at pressxm2start.com/Discord. Uh, we have a lot of good conversations in there, and it's growing every day. We're so appreciative of all the people there. Thank you guys. And I would say thank you to people who are listening, but if you're listening but not on Discord, then you don't really get the thank you. So it is what it is. Anyways, that is us. That is what this is. Now let us get into the gaming news. Number one. The Last of Us 2 PS5 re-release with new content may have been leaked by the game's composer. This comes from GamesRadar. So, a new version of The Last of Us 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is by Hope Bellingham. I hope I nailed that. So apparently, the composer, Gustavo Santaolalla. Okay, we're going to go with that. He appeared on a episode of Blender Podcast, talked about his cameo in The Last of Us Part 2, revealing in Spanish, because it's a Spanish podcast, that in a new edition of the game, players will be able to approach the composer in-game and request songs for him to play. This was all that we're going to say Gustavo, said on the topic. But it got fans convinced that the rumors of The Last of Us 2 re-release is actually true. So, this is interesting because from what we know right now, there's potentially Last of Us 3. They do have
we know that's coming.
Yeah, right. There is a Last of Us the multiplayer thing that got pared down. Is it possible that because this is also machine translated, it's not like really vetted by a I would hope that at a point this would be vetted by a translator, but we're going off of what the article says. Is it possible that there could be some confusion here, and this can just be from the factions experience that we just don't have any real sense of like what it's going to be?
You know what I'm gonna do?
What do you think?
I'm gonna listen to that podcast in Spanish and aggressively nod my head at the words that I do understand and report back what I'll do.
So I think the idea of a remaster or whatever you want to call it, whatever retag you can put on it, feels very almost too soon for Last of Us 2.
I wouldn't say that.
You don't think
I
so?
wouldn't say that because we had it on PS3 and then the PS4 came out and they released it. They released a remaster, so people may see this as double dipping, whatever, but it's not unprecedented, and people have the
Okay.
right to
Well,
complain. But if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. These are for the people who are interested in having every edition, every collection, every version of it possible, or for the people who are just catching on to the show, maybe bought part one
yeah.
and part one remake and didn't touch part two yet until maybe season two comes out. Maybe this will
Yeah.
uh come out in time for season two. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't begrudge anybody for wanting this. um I mean, I bought the first one 2 or 3 times. I might buy this again, so who knows.
Now, I think you have a great point there with this could easily line up with the release of season 2 of Last of Us, the HBO show. And like as we know, the um first remake pretty much
Hmm.
lined up with somewhere around the first season of the show, and that did
Yeah,
gangbusters to them. So of course they would do the same thing for part 2.
yeah.
Even, that's also a like beloved game. Yeah, there's
So
some, yeah,
it originally came out on PlayStation 3 June 14th, 2013, and then the remastered version for PS4 July 29th, 2014. So a year and a month and a half later. And
okay,
there was the same comments online that we got about part one remake that we're gonna get about this remaster for PS5. So I mean,
yeah, yeah,
time is a flat circle, whatever, something like
yeah.
that.
And I think like with the Last of Us Part One remake, that was being inched closer to the combat stylings of Last of Us
Yeah.
Part Two. So with this, like that kind of creates a almost like a well, I guess complete edition because we don't know if there's Last of Us Three, and when that comes out, then that'll be the complete edition. If there's Last of Us Four,
And I will
whatever.
get the PS6 remakes and I'll buy
There you
those
go.
too.
There you go.
Anyway, moving on, moving on.
It's the cycle of life. Um, so yeah, this is interesting. We'll see what happens. But it makes sense that this would probably align with whenever season 2 of Last of Us is coming out. So that. A little addition to this, Neil Druckmann, alone at the top as Naughty Dog's co-president, retires after 25 years. This is kind of crazy. So the so Neil Druckmann is co-president with Evan. Wait a minute. 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 Evan Wells. So Evan Wells is now retiring after 25 years at Naughty Dog. So now
Mm.
this makes Neil Druckmann top guy, which is in an interesting place because, as we know, they have a remake or remaster. They have a remaster for Last of Us Part Two. They have factions in whatever state it is in, and there is the possible Last of Us 3. So Neil has a lot on his plate right now. So I wish him
Mm.
all the best, and hopefully he can get some sleep. So yeah, what's your feelings on this?
Um, I think they're in capable hands. 25 years is a long time in any
It is.
industry,
It is.
especially with the amount of crunch that the gaming industry does. Granted, that man at the top probably isn't putting in the same amount of hours as he used to be, but still.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully he stays in the industry after a short sabbatical, jumps back
Yeah.
in doing something. But I don't know. Naughty Dog is a top tier company. I see
Yeah.
nothing but good things coming out of them.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, I feel like for a person who is outside of, the industry and looking in, they would probably think Neil Druckmann is like the president of Naughty Dog just because his face has been
Anyway,
everywhere for promoting everything. Yeah, and like if you would have showed me like, oh, Ian Wells is the co-president, and you showed me like other faces, I wouldn't be able to pick him out. Like I just didn't
hmm
know. So it does feel like this was probably happening in the background very slowly. And,
yeah.
you know, today, or I guess June 11th was the day that everything came a full, came ahead. That's what it is. All right. Number three. Number two. Sorry. Black Panther game announced by EA. This is coming from Game Informer, specifically Marcus Stewart. So I'm going to read a little bit of the article and then we can talk about it. EA has announced that a Black Panther game is in the works. The title is being made by Cliffhanger Games, a new AAA studio based in Seattle, in collaboration with Marvel Games. The upcoming title is billed as a single player story driven third person action adventure. Deep breath. In a press release, Cliffhanger states that our mission is to build an expansive and reactive world that empowers players to experience what it's like to take on the mantle of Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther. Cliffhanger is led by Kevin Stevens, two first names, formerly of Monolith Productions, a studio currently making a Wonder Woman game. The and consists of veteran talent who have worked on titles such as Middle Earth Shadows of Mordor, God of War, Halo Infinite, and Call of Duty, among others. The team is still being assembled and is actively hiring. As such, this untitled Black Panther project is very early in development, so will likely be a few years before it's in our hands. This is a quote from Kevin. We're dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over their narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game. That's a lot. Wakanda is a super rich, Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do. Okay, that's all. That's a lot to say that there's a Black Panther game coming. Not soon, kind of far. Before we talk about this, I do want to mention that Jeff Grubb had leaked this last year in July
Mm.
and on his podcast. What he said was the game will be developed under codename Project Rainier by a studio who's formerly a Monolith VP Kevin Stevens and published by EA Games. The game itself is said to be an open world single player game. No. Slip into the role of the new Black Panther. So the idea is that something happens to the previous Black Panther, you are the new Black Panther, and you have to figure
Mm.
this stuff out essentially. More thing.
I mean, how is something like
Uh,
that gonna play? I'm guessing kind of like a Batman Arkham style combat.
wait. There's a little bit more that I want to read. There are no further dates on the story or release date, but it's said to be in the early stages of development. The most interesting aspect of this is a player can take the role of the Black Panther in his own way and not just play as T'Challa, M'Baku, Shuri, or one of the already established Marvel heroes. That should offer an opportunity to personalize the gaming experience in a fun way and give it a unique feel. Okay, continue.
This smells like live service, but all right.
So I'm
Give them all
excited for
guns,
this
like
because
Suicide Squad.
give them all guys.
I don't know, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm excited for this because I think this could be a very good game. Because I like EA had like, at least for me, I'm looking at this in sort of like a higher profile version of like what they did with Wild Hearts, where they showed it they talked about it. Wild Hearts is supposed to be their take on Monster Hunter games, and
Yeah.
they could have easily just cashed in on that hype alone, but they actually made a really good and like very good playing
They
game.
thought out, well thought out. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. And I get the feeling that they are really going to put their effort into this. Although we are pretty far away from this and they are actively developing, and this announcement isn't mainly for us, it's for the developers who are looking to get into developing this game. But I think overall this is cool. I think when the rumors first broke, there was a lot of conversation that like it could possibly be like a creator character that you're making, and then that character is the character that assumes the mantle of Black Panther, and that would be a way of teaching you how to play the game because
Yeah.
you're also the new Black Panther. Yeah. Um. Overall, I think there's a lot of ways for EA to screw this up, but I think I'm being more optimistic.
Mhm.
Looking at this, they have people from Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. In that game, the best part of that game was the Nemesis system. Even though it is copyrighted by WB, the devs can still use certain aspects of that, and I think that'll be a pretty cool thing. That could be a cool thing to have in this game. They have people from God of War, so they can definitely borrow that camera style, that combat style.
I'm curious
Um,
about the Nemesis system. Like, what exactly is patented? I need to look into that. Is it just your enemies remembering you and coming back, like remembering the last
I
encounter?
would
Like,
I would imagine it could be as general as that, or it could be more complex in terms of the actual coding
yeah,
used to accomplish all that, because the fact that we really haven't seen anything like that at all, and like when Shadow Mordor came out, everyone was just like, oh my god, this whole Nemesis system is like awesome. But the fact that we haven't seen anything like that at all kind of feels like maybe it might be something as general as that. But I didn't think you could copyright that. That's
it's
just
just
like,
an idea
yeah, it's like Square Enix copying, like, all right, well,
or
we
patent,
have
whatever.
these three
Yeah.
characters right here. They don't move. They can use match. Like, you can't, like that seems weird to me. So I would imagine it's something more complex.
Our copyright and patent system is broken. But next
True.
topic, please.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for this. Hopefully we get more information, but give them time, let them build something. I Before we jump, when do you think we can actually see something from this?
2 years minimum.
2 years? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of my take too. All right. Number 3. As you've probably heard, because it is a Sunday and this happened on a Friday, Microsoft has won their case against the FTC. The only holdout now is CMA in UK. Speaking of which, wait, hold on. Wait. Britain's competition regulator, CMA, on Friday extended their final deadline on Microsoft's $69 billion Activision Blizzard deal on August 29th. No, I think I read that wrong. Extended its final deadline on Microsoft's $69 billion deal, or Activision Blizzard deal, on August 9th after
Mhm.
it received a detailed and complex new proposal from Microsoft that claimed material changes in circumstance. So essentially what this means is that after Microsoft won the FTC, they shot over, probably by email, a letter of all these changes that they're going to make to their proposal to CMA, and they are looking at this and they're going to make a decision by August 29th. That means by August 29th, for sure, we will know what will happen with the Microsoft Activision deal,
Whether or not
at
we'll be
least
able to
in
cross play
UK.
with our UK brubs.
Exactly. But as it is right now, it seems in the US, it is essentially clear to happen. So much so that this comes from Insider Gamer, Grant Taylor Hill. No, wait. I pulled the wrong thing. Okay. This comes from The Verge. Tom Warner, Sony agrees to Sony agrees to a Call of Duty deal with Microsoft. So Sony is finally signing the dotted line and is agreeing to a deal with Microsoft for Call of Duty. This comes from a tweet from Phil Spencer. We are pleased to announce that Microsoft and PlayStation have signed a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games. Maybe not in UK. Yeah, so this is cool. We all kind of knew this was the case. Like PlayStation or Sony was going full steam ahead and trying to stop this deal as much as they can, knowing that they were going to get this deal at the end because they're the top people in the industry right now. So of course Microsoft's not going to pull Xbox or Call of Duty from PlayStation. So cool. You got anything on this, Sean?
Sony better come up with something in the meantime. That's all I'm gonna say. They need to come back out with SOCOM or something. It's never gonna take Call of Duty's thunder. Only Call of Duty can kill Call of Duty. Like only the Infinity Stones could be used to destroy the Infinity Stones, but
that is true.
We'll see. I mean, I guess this will be a staple in the industry, like Madden and NBA 2K type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
we'll see where this goes.
We're actually going to see very shortly about what Sony's going to do. But before that, there's something else that's PlayStation happening. But before that, hey, you listener, how you doing? You enjoying this? Good. Can you do us a favor? Can you like this video? Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. In case you missed that, can you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell? Thank you. Appreciate it. If you are listening, you can't see my face looking at you dead in your face. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or podcast services you are currently using. Yeah, do that. Appreciate it. All right. So, Sean, you had mentioned this, that PlayStation is doing something. So can you please elaborate on this special thing that PlayStation is doing in retaliation to Microsoft winning the FTC court case?
So this is coming from our friends at GameSpot. Darren Bontoys, PlayStation Pasta serves up Sony's tastiest collaboration yet. At long last, PlayStation Pasta is a reality. DJ?
That's wild. I can't believe this. I didn't think this was going to happen. Like, I feel like this is the perfect response to Microsoft winning the FTC case, because this shows that PlayStation is unbothered to the point where they've made pasta in the form of the sacred symbols. Unfortunately, wait, can we actually get this? Because this is a UK thing, right?
So I need all my Brixton bruvs, all my Peckham Pengals, all my UK roadman. If you can DM us and figure out a way to get us some pasta, we'll exchange some American guns or something. I don't know. Whatever y'all need over there, let us know.
You know what?
Or, huh? Oh wait, no.
I was gonna say. Oh,
they say they're collaborating with a British online supermarket, Ocado. The hell is Ocado?
Okay, yeah. I use Ocado all the time. Didn't they have a convention back in like 2003?
2 £60 and 60 pence or something like that. I don't know. Or not. Wait, is this pounds? Yeah, they back to pounds. They don't use euros no more. Whatever. I don't know. It says add to trolley. Do all your online stores say add to trolley? It's like $2. I'm gonna order this. I wonder if they ship to the UK. Let me see.
Oh my gosh.
Book the delivery. They're gonna deliver it in a lorry. Whatever. That's awesome. I'm gonna get me some of this. You know what? My aunt from London is here till Tuesday. I'm gonna tell her to pick some up and send it back for me. Why did I think of this?
There you go. Look, you got a connection right there.
You got the pasta connect. What y'all niggas know about that?
I'll figure it out. All right.
No, dead ass. I'm actually. You know what? I'm a fucking.
No, I expect this, Sean. I
I'm getting this
expect this.
pasta.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
All
do that.
PlayStation bricks. No, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, while we wait for the PlayStation Pasta, Sony is investing $2.1 billion in gaming R&D, focusing on live services. This comes from Insider Gaming, specifically Grant Taylor Hill. Okay. So in a report published by what is this? Nick Nikki? Nikki?
Hmm?
It's the new name for the other thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was revealed that Sony intends to pour financial resources into gaming research and development to the tune of around $2.13 billion. This reportedly and that's reportedly an investment that's being made before the end of fiscal year 2024. So actually pretty soon. Or fiscal year is what, March of 2024?
I mean, I don't know. It
Right?
depends on, I guess, the country, what they consider the fiscal year, how to do their books.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Not only that, but Sony Group has also expressed a desire to pivot towards a model that focuses much more succinctly on live service titles with Nikki.
Sure, man.
Yeah, okay. Articles referencing the fact that Sony itself has yet to make a splash in live service games. So, this is something that we knew based off of their PowerPoint that they shared before Summer Game Fest. And it
Mhm.
was the whole 60% of their um, monies, I guess, is going to go into developing live service games. I think it's that that could be wrong, but we're gonna go with that for right now.
Yeah.
Ye- wha- what's your thoughts on this?
Does this mean they're spending about 3 billion in single player experiences? Spending? I mean,
That's
what?
a good thought.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of this. Like, what? How many more live service games do we need? I mean,
I think
is like Call of Duty considered a live service, or only like looter
yes,
shooters, or is it anything with a battle pass type season pass
it
deal, Bob?
is.
Like,
So I
what is
think
a
that's
live
where it gets
service
tricky
game now?
because
Yeah,
it's any. I look at it as anything that is supported past its release date with like not just
regular
uh
updates or releases,
it's
content
like new
drops.
content being at. Yeah, exactly. So for example, like Street Fighter 6 is live service games because they're getting additional content down the
Then
line.
that's so broad, then, because
Exactly.
it could be
Exactly.
any genre per se. So I'm wondering what we're gonna see from Sony.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where I'm okay with this because I have slowly become that like kind of live service gamer where I like
Not
espe-
me.
let me say this. Let me say this.
Hmm.
I am a service gamer in that if it's a game that I enjoy,
Hmm.
I love when there's more content down the line for me to keep playing, i.e., Gundam Battle Operations 2, which came out in like 2018. I'm still playing that thing daily.
That's
Genshin, I
like
was
me and
playing for a
anime
long
filler.
time. Say what?
I said that's like me and anime filler. You just explained why I watch filler.
Exactly. See, there you go. There you go. So, like, if PlayStation can capture their own live service game,
Yeah.
great. Like, more power to them. The only issue is the hope is for them to do this without having their stable of like AAA games
Yeah.
like maintaining their quality. So like
Disturbed.
exactly. So for example, like we didn't actually put this in the doc, but like Guerrilla Games came out with some article about like their futures for Horizon. There's like 10 to 12 different Horizon things happening
Yeah.
and it's like that's so much stuff. Like We know that they're doing a co-op game, they're doing an MMO kind of thing, and then there's like other stuff that's happening, and it's just like I hope you can support all that, because if you can't support that, that hurts the brand, and that ultimately hurts PlayStation. So the hope is that them putting all this money into R&D is building quality experiences, but on top of that, building a good
It's not
game
gonna take away
plan.
from other bandwidth. Yeah.
That too, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like my thing is like when they release a live service game, for example, like Ghost of Tsushima. Technically, that's live service because of Legends. And when Legends came out, they said, "Hey, look, we're going to support this for X number of months. We're going to release the raid, and that's it." And that's what they did. Everyone enjoyed the experience. They released the raid, and that was it. It was all done. So I just, it'll be interesting to see what their next showcase looks like. Like the hope is that we get something later this year. That may not happen. If we get something next year, I really hope they take into account all of the feedback they got from their last showcase, and that like it was just a lot of the same stuff over and over again. It was just like, oh, this is a title. Oh, this is three people working as a team with guns doing stuff. And it's just like, this is not like that was the I think even Blessing from Kind of Funny. He had a video
Mhm.
about PlayStation's live service strategy not working. And a lot of people were just like, well, we haven't really seen their
Nothing has
strategy or
released.
seen their
Yeah.
game. Yeah, like we haven't seen any of their games, but we've seen their strategy in that they had this showcase of live service games that everyone's just like, what are you showing us? So
We haven't played it yet. There's
exactly,
can't
yeah.
judge a book by its cover.
That's true. That's true. So we'll see where this comes out, because we don't like we look at this number and we're just like, oh man, $2.13 billion is a lot of money. How much does it cost to make Last of Us? Do we know how much like R&D goes into that? So
Yeah.
it's really hard to kind of compare and contrast or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Anywho.
Yeah. So next thing, this is actually a really big win. State of America workers wins union vote. This comes from Polygon, specifically Nicole Carpenter. All right. The union spans several different departments: marketing, games as a service, localization, product development, and quality assurance. The urban office, which opened in 2022, houses up to 235 workers. With this win, oh geez, AEGIS dash
Aegis.
CWA, Aegis, okay, Aegis CWA is the first video games industry union at a major company that spans multiple departments. So this is a really, really big win. And I think
Hmm.
overall, like, this is not just a win for Sega of America. This is a win for the industry as a whole, because as this happens in more and more industries, it becomes, more widespread as a thought of like, oh, yeah, we should
Yeah.
try to unionize. We got enough people. Let's try it. And like more and more people are doing it. Um, Back in March 14th of this year, this also comes from Nicole Carpenter. This is also from Polygon. The games the game studio changed the industry by unionizing. So this is just a list of all of the other studios slash departments that are unionized. I'm not gonna read all of it, but
Mm.
like there's Activision Blizzard, we know with Blizzard Albany, and then Ravensoft. They had their unionizing stuff happen, went through. Uh, Proletariat, another place, they also had their union happen. So essentially, like it's just a bunch of places that are doing this, and that's good to see, and that's good to know that like this is going to be a thing that keeps getting pushed, and
Yeah.
hopefully this will be for the better in the end of the day. Yeah. What's your talks? What's your take on this, Sean?
I'm just looking at all the studios that and things, entities that unionize, like Cards Against Humanity workers
Mm-hmm.
unionize. It's Wow. Following a report that alleges racist and sexist culture at the company Cars Against Humanity management record is this. Who would have guessed?
Right.
A game about terrible things.
Yeah.
The working conditions were terrible. But
Also terrible. Yeah.
um strong unions make for better working conditions, although the companies hate them.
Yeah.
Um they try to scare people by thinking that you're going to make less money or, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is we need to get a union started, a press X to start to get better working conditions because this is
Right.
ghetto. We got kids running around screaming, tripping over toys and shit. Like,
Hey man. Same over
oh,
here,
bullshit.
man. About to go on strike.
Yeah, no. We need more unions overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is great to see. Like for all of the crap that we have, you know, read through and heard about with like working conditions, like even Activision Blizzard, like
Hmm.
all that stuff happened over there. Like and Bobby Kotick is just defending the people he shouldn't be defending, and it's just like this is just terrible. So it's so good to see that people are standing up, unionizing, and it's going through, and like that is creating the protections that these workers need. So
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. All right,
Oh.
last story, but not the last thing we talk about. Media Molecule opens Dreams Creations to commercial uses. This comes from GameIndustries.biz by Maria Delisandre. I think I nailed that.
Nailed it.
I think I nailed that. Yeah, awesome. I had to. All right. Media Molecule has updated Dreams usage terms, allowing players to use some of their creations outside the platform's ecosystem. In a blog post published on Wednesday, the developer clarified that it won't apply to all creation, but personal and commercial use of music, animation, film, and art made in Dreams will be allowed outside the game. Users will only be allowed to use creations they made themselves. This means that if you use someone else's creation in your work, you will need their permission if you want to use it outside of Dreams for your intended purpose. Media Molecule
Hmm.
clarified in their FAQ. So this is really cool in that those people who have been supporting Dreams for so long, we got, I think it was a couple weeks back, Media Molecule released that they're going to be ending Dream support because they're working on their new game. So I think this is overall a good move on Media Molecule to like say, hey, thank you guys for supporting this game with your content. Feel free to use that content outside this ecosystem to make your money, essentially. Um, yeah, yeah. What's
Um,
your
so they're allowing people to use their music, animation, films, and art. I wonder if at some point, first of all, I'm wondering how they're gonna allow people to export this stuff or how they're getting it out of the system. But it would be nice if they would allow people to export their games in a kind of little indie. Like I was talking with DJ before we actually started recording. I don't know if many people remember the Xbox Live indie game. Was it Marketplace indie, like Xbox Live indie
mm-hmm.
games? Like they had a micro section that was separate from the Xbox Marketplace where they just had indie games. Now a lot of it was shovelware and trash, but they had some decent gems in there, and the same
Yeah,
goes for Dreams. It would be cool if they allowed some micro game engine of some sort,
yeah,
to allow people to play the games. I don't know, sell it for $1 or some shit. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. Like I think some kind of launcher would be like really cool for this kind of content. Of course, that
It'd be
would
nifty.
have to come. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would have to come from Media Molecule, who is
me
working
and
on their
Monica and
game.
Sony.
So yeah, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I,
win
I,
all around.
I never ended up making any games on it. I think I just played the one little adventure that they made on there, and then everybody else
Yeah,
is just making Mario and Sonic clones. But what people were able to create when they sat down and took the time to do it was pretty amazing.
crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. So I would say we'll see what comes from this, but I doubt unless something like really breaks through and like, it gets a lot of attention. We probably won't see anything from this. But again, good job, Media Molecule, for supporting your creators through and through. So good. All right. That is it for the gaming news. Before we end this show, we are going to talk about things we have been playing. First up, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, specifically DMZ. Sean, you have been playing a lot of this game. What's going on in the DMZ?
Listeners, watchers, please join me in an intervention for DJ, as this man consistently gets us just murdered because he refuses to
Me?
take cover. Yes. Me and DJ are just driving along and we're getting sniped at from somebody, and I say, "Hey DJ, let's duck into this cave. They won't follow us in there." This man stays outside shooting.
Let the record show
Mhm.
that those words, "Hey DJ, let's get in this cave," after I have been downed, killed, and teabagged by some guy named Randy Savage.
DJ got ran over. Listen, I'm gonna take your black card. I ran, you run. If I run, you run. All right?
I didn't see you. I was too busy dodging gunfire.
I guess. I don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna say it was all wholesome in DMZ, but it has become severely toxic to where people are just like forming roving death squads of like 5 and 6 to just descend on a single player. I don't get the fun in that, and
Yeah. That has
I
been
I only shoot people if they shoot at me.
yeah, exactly.
Typically.
Yeah. That has been their biggest issue since like I guess season 2 or something like that, where it's just
Hmm.
like people apparently there's an easy way of jumping into the same session, and all you do
Yeah, you
is
time it.
just yeah, you just time it, and it's just like it's that easy to break the whole like thing. And like that team that we fought, I'm pretty sure that was a like considered like pre-made like 6 or 5 man team,
Yeah.
because that was the start of the match and they already had a 5 man team. It's just like you only do that if you like you're planning to do that and you like meet up and you just meet up and you do the thing and you run over and start killing people. So like that was kind of annoying because
Man.
the only reason why I was just like, oh, this should be fine, because I thought it was like a 2 or 3 man team, because it's just like this is the start of the match. What the hell? But yeah,
Mind you,
no,
we
it
were
was
all the way in the desert where nobody normally even is, and they were
yeah,
just that's
it was
crazy.
just us and that team.
And then with the new most recent update, I don't know if any of our listeners watch the show The Boys, but
If
they
you don't,
introduced
what
an
are you
update where you
doing?
can play as Starlight, Homelander, or Black Noir, and they also introduced Temp V superpowers. So you can either, I think, teleport where it shoots you up in the sky and you can redeploy. They have a lightning thing where you can shock people. Something with lasers,
You
and
get
then one
Homelander's
other,
lasers.
yeah, and then one other thing. I don't remember the fourth thing, but
Laser eyes.
that's
Uh, it's lasers, electric, and I think a jump. It teleports you in the sky or something.
let me see, Temp V.
Yeah.
But you find them in little, spots, and basically when you use it, there's a big red circle letting people know to stay the hell away from you.
Thank you.
Let me see, what is it? Charge,
That
jump,
circle
forward
is
jump, electric,
important.
shockwave, laser vision, and teleport.
Mm.
Oh, so teleport and charge jump is two different things. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
you deal splash damage when you land. Okay. Didn't know that.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I'm playing the trailer
So
right now for it. So yeah, you also get the skins for Starlight, Homelander, and Black Noir. So like this is really cool. Like I
Mhm.
like when Sean posted it, I was just like, wait, what? Like that's insane. Like that's so cool to like have like boys go into Call of Duty. And it's like that is like this is probably to me one of the best meshing of entertainment properties, because
Yes and no. The skins are cool. The
yeah,
superpowers, they kind of break the
break the game.
game slightly.
It
This is
does. Yeah,
some
yeah. I
This is better
I don't.
served in not in DMZ where you can actually lose items. Maybe in like multiplayer
Yeah,
or Warzone,
multiplayer. Yeah,
but not
I
for DMZ where you know your items are persistent across matches.
I feel like I think I agree with you in terms of having this in DMZ is like kind of weird because it is so like uh what is it? You have that gear fear where like you don't want to lose the
Mm,
stuff that you have because it's important to you. But like I think it'd have been cool if they had brought these skins in and then made like a special mode or something that you
yeah,
can jump into and play that is like multiplayer, like as you're saying. Like I think that would be really, really cool. Um I I I really have you been able to like get and use any of the powers?
I use the teleport stuff and I use the shocking stuff.
Okay.
I didn't realize what the hell it was until you don't know
Hmm.
what it is until you actually activate it, and then you know you get the use of it. The
Yeah.
electric stuff isn't as useful as I thought it would be, or at least not the way I'm trying to use it. I don't know.
Yeah. So real quick before you jump, I speaking of the electric stuff, I saw a couple people use it, and it seems like it is overpowered when it comes to fighting a person in like mid to close range because
I
it
suppose it would be
electrifies.
helpful if like you're getting ganged up on.
Yeah, yeah. Because like the in the encounter that I was watching, a person was literally in the Vondel map in like a little coffee shop or whatever,
Hmm.
and he was like 1v1 in this one guy, and he shot him a little bit, did an electric thing, and downed the guy immediately. And it was just like that's a hell of a combo right there. And then like the laser vision, I think the laser vision is not an instant down. It does
Hmm.
damage. It does ticks of damage and then drops you. But like I think it happens so quickly where you can't really react to it unless you probably have like the super jump or the teleportation, and that might be able to get you out of the way of all that. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
and the laser beam has a lot of range. It's almost like an AR like distance in
Okay.
terms of how far you can fire it. So like all that stuff is super cool. You know, it's one of those things where okay, well, how long is this going to be in game for? Is it going to be long enough where they're going to actually like release like balance and like patching to
At least 3 weeks
mitigate?
because they're not releasing all the skins all at once. So
Yeah,
at
that's true
least
too.
three to
Yeah,
4 weeks.
yeah,
Um, this game is just the ganging up on people. I know they don't know that I'm black, but god damn it, it feels like a lynching sometimes. But they're just like, hey, buddy, and then they just start chasing you down. I've had people
right.
chase me down for a good 5 to 10 minutes, literally.
Yeah,
A
man.
group of 5 or 6 people. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
the
lot. It's a lot.
pre-made the 6-man teams and like the pre-made teams are probably the biggest detractors to playing DMZ mode because it is
Mm,
a thing of like it's one thing where you jump into the game, you're like, oh, there might be like a 3-man team. That's fine. Like if it's just a solo you versus 3 mans, you might have a chance to get out of the situation. Like you might lose depending on their loadout or whatever. But like
yeah.
there's almost no way to get around or get out of a 6-man team just because of the options that they can have. Like, you know, some people can have stealth vests, some people can have comms vests, some people can have med
Man,
vests. So
I
even
hit
if
up
you
a
down
UAV.
people,
I couldn't see none of them on there. One of them had temp V on. They shot
yeah,
down Savion. I jumped in the water. Thankfully, I had an O2 rebreather. I swam under
hmm
the water. Went up a zip line on Ashika Island. They couldn't find me, but they kind of knew the general area I was in. They started mortar striking the area.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I
yeah.
killed myself though because I fell down a well. But you know, such is life.
Hey, but you did the best you could before that happened.
Hey.
Yeah, but it is that thing of like they're because right now Call of Duty had released an update to essentially kind of put a band-aid on the 6-man thing, and that like
Yeah.
if there's a team or players that are in a team, if you kill
Mm,
enough operators, you will be alerted by you'll the game will alert every Jesus. The game will
mm,
alert everyone around you and say like, "Hey, this person or this team is
This
like a
team is
death
killing people.
squad. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to like move away from them, or like if you kill them, you get 10K. And people are saying like 10K is not enough to go through all that like hassle to kill most likely a 6-man
Yeah, they
squad.
need to up it to like 50K or something.
Yeah. So
Um.
have you,
Oh,
while playing, have
and
you seen that happen?
not yet
Okay.
because our play styles are completely different. Apparent, according to Cameron.
Oh.
I get in and get out.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
and
right. Yeah.
Savion
Yeah.
sit there and tune your weapons and shop, and so I don't stick around long enough for anybody to find me. And when they do,
Right.
I'm gone. So.
Already gone. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Oh, and the other update they introduced, because before, when you would like rescue somebody who called out for help, they would automatically join your team. Now there's like a
Mm.
30-second amnesty where the person that you revive cannot shoot you. I don't think you can shoot them either. I haven't tried because I'm not a asshole, but I
Yeah.
mean, some people
You
used to
can't.
like pick you up, shoot you down, pick you up, shoot you,
Yeah.
or whatever.
So
Hit you with the,
yeah.
hit you with
So
the revive pistol. That's how they kept killing you.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can essentially how that works is, as Sean was saying, like you shoot someone, you down them, you don't kill them, you down them, you can revive them, and when you revive
You
them, there's a
cannot
prompt,
revive anybody that you shot.
yeah, that you killed. So
Yeah.
if you down and kill a player, you can't revive them anymore. If you just down a player, you revive them, and then there is a like 30-second grace period where they can like go off. You can't
Hmm.
shoot them, they can't shoot you, but you can just kind of follow them. You can take their guns and follow them and then kill them after 30 seconds, but like that's griefing stuff. But uh it doesn't, you don't automatically um you don't automatically join the person's team. So there's a prompt
Yeah.
that comes up that allows them to join team now. So that's kind of changing how the 6-man teams are made, but I think the 6-man team is just still just an issue in itself. So we'll see what Call of Duty does. I don't know. Yeah, overall though, I'm still like really enjoying, playing DMZ with Sean and his cousin Sabian. Like it's just fun times. It's just a good mode to play. Minus the whole 6-man team. Like when you're not worried about that, it's good times. Um
Plastic.
yeah, okay. So
If you want to
last
talk
thing.
about tears. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's real quick. So as I said at the start of the show, my name is Don the Builder, aka no, just Don the Builder. Yeah. So essentially, I have gone into the building phase of Tears of the Kingdom, where now I am just trying to build the best vehicle that I can, so I can explore the depth, get some zonite, and not explode to every bomb flower that I accidentally run over in the depths because freaking landmine down there. Um,
Mm.
and I spent about an hour and a half trying to put together some stuff last night. I've been watching like the videos online about, oh, this vehicle is pretty cool. Oh, this vehicle is pretty cool. And I have like a few of them saved in Auto Builder, but I'm just trying to build one that has essentially like a rolling wheel from one of the constructs drop that you get that can like automatically destroy the zonite material stuff. So it's a whole thing that I've put on myself that I didn't really need to do. I could just play this game. I could just beat the last temple, get the rest of the stuff that you need, and go fight Ganon and beat this game. But no, I'm taking my time and I'm doing this the way I want to do. Absolutely love this game. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Mm.
Thoroughly enjoying this game. It's still my game of the year. At some point, I need to go back to Final Fantasy 16, but we'll see when that happens. We'll see when that happens. All right, I think that's it. You got anything else to say, Sean?
Nah.
No. All right. Well, this has been another episode of Press X Star Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget, you can rate, review, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. You can rate and review us on YouTube if you want, but we appreciate you rating and review us on Apple Podcasts or podcast services you are currently using. Thank you. Do all that because everything helps. Everything will keep us going. It's like throwing coal into a steam engine. It'll keep the steam engine going. And right now, we need it. Thank you. All right. Yeah, just I always have a hard time like ending the podcast. 'Cause it's just like, yeah, we'll see you guys
You're not ready
next
to go
week.
yet.
Yeah, yeah. So enjoy the day. It's raining over here a little bit, but hopefully it's not raining by you. And if it is, good thing because you can sit at home and play some games. Make sure you wash your hands though. That part's important. COVID's still out here. All right. Yeah. Take care. Peace out.
All right, that was less than an hour.